Okay, where we left off the last video, I had just brought in a fifth frame. And so I need to go back to my assets and Command D to deselect and then delete. But, well, I'll continue it. I have about 5 more frames. So now I turn on the next one. I turn off the old one. I go to my topmost visible layer, option. I say layer, merge visible. Command A to select it all, Command C to copy it all. Click on my stage, Command V to paste it. It's my next animation frame. Command D to deselect and clear it. Turn on the next one. Command A, Command C. I know you're getting sick of hearing it. But I just screwed up because I did Command A and Command C. But what did I not do first? I didn't make the combined frame. So I set up my frame. You got to follow the steps. Hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible. So otherwise I wouldn't have had my setting there. Then Command A, then Command C. Then to the stage, Command V to paste it in. Then Command D to deselect, delete. Turn on the next frame. This is the one I think is very off, but you'll see it when I do the animation test. And now go to my topmost layer, hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, Command A, Command C, click on my stage, Command V, deselect, delete. Just 2 more before it hits that bow. Hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, Command A, Command C, Command V, and 1 more, Command D to deselect, clear it, turn on the last one, and add the little impact marks. Hold down Option, Layer, Merge Visible, while holding down Option, Command A, Command C, click on my stage, Command V. Good time to save my stage. Because I just built 11 frames, and really it's just to tell the first 4 keyframes. So, before I show you how to test the animation on the stage, I'm going to deselect and clear this and save my assets, because this has all those components, right? Now, how do I test it? Well, I could just click on this, and you can see it rolling, kind of a slow animation. But this is built into Photoshop. It's called the timeline. And instead of having to turn on and off the eyeballs myself, I can set a program to do it for me, and I can control the timing. Just like how long do you stay on one page of a flip book. So this is why it's called time-based media. To get that, I go to Window, and I click Timeline. And then when the timeline opens, I'm going to click of the 2 options of video timeline or frame animation. We are learning how to do it frame by frame. You would use video timeline if you were using like video footage. Okay, so that's my first frame. That doesn't do anything for me. So in order to make my layers into the film strip, I have to click on the timeline window options, which are the little hamburger in the upper right-hand corner of the timeline window. And I click on Make Frames from Layers. And I like that the bottom white is always there. It reminds me that I have to edit this. So the way we delete frames from the timeline is not to hit delete. The way we do it is to drag it from the timeline to the trash within the timeline. This is your editing bay. And now you'll see all my frames, and you'll see it says 0 seconds below it, and it looks just like a film strip. And if I hit play, it's going to go real fast. So if that's too fast, which it is, 0 seconds is no time at all, I'm going to hold down Shift, click on the first timeline frame, hold down Shift, click on the last timeline frame. It will select all of them. I'm going to set the timing to what I think is a good default timing. I'm going to do 0.2 seconds. You can also type in your own. Sometimes I do 0.3. Now I play it. Now my problem is I play it and my eye is also tracking this move. So I like to do this. So I'm not distracted by the timeline and I can just look at the movement. And, I thought it was wonky. And there's some parts of it that are a little wrong. Like the egg isn't slowing down as the heaviest part is moving. But it definitely makes sense. It's definitely rolling. Would you guys agree? All right. So I did that in that motion in 11 frames. That's not bad. Now that I know that that's kind of working, I have to clear the editing bay. So I have to say stop. I have to select them all and drag them all to the trash. That doesn't get rid of my frames. It gets rid of the timing on my frames. If I don't do that, if I don't clear it before I start adding more frames, and then I add a new frame, so let's do that. My next frame is going to be this one, because it hit and now it's recoiling, right? So let's just make a new frame really quick. Option, layer, merge visible, Command A, Command C, paste. Because I haven't cleared them, watch what happens. Now when I play it, that content I pasted in is now in every frame. So that's why we have to clear it first. Otherwise, it could actually mess up our layers. Because all it's doing is programming this eyeball and how long that eyeball stays on. But you can have it programmed so multiple layers are showing. So now I can test it. It doesn't make sense to test it all the time. I say test it, once you're done with a portion of your storyboard. And I'm going to say make frames from layers. I'm going to get rid of the white one by taking it to the trash. I'm going to set its timing to, I'm going to go a little bit faster this time. I'm going to say other, and I'm going to say 0.15 seconds. And I like that. That rolls pretty believably, and now it's hitting and then rolling back. Yeah? Make sense? All right. So that I don't kind of waste that effort, now what do I get to do? I get to decide, is it worth having a shadow underneath it? What do you guys think? Someone says no. Anyone else? Wouldn't a shadow be nice? Yeah. Okay. That's all I need to do extra work. But this is what's cool. My assets are already there. So all I have to do is figure out how I want to shade them. I just have to clear that layer. And so let's start at the beginning. This is why animation, it's frustrating, right? So what I'm going to do, instead of drawing in or making a new layer with a shadow to track each one, I'm going to try doing it as a layer style. So underneath my egg, I'm going to turn on a drop shadow, right? And I'm going to play with how dark that is, what that distance is, and what that angle is. So I'm going to have it be 90 degrees straight from the top. But I'm going to increase its distance quite a bit and then shrink its size. Okay, and then I'm going to change its color. I'm going to make it more neutral. Let's see, what else? I think that's a pretty good opacity. Maybe take it down a little bit. Okay, now I am simply going to right-click and copy that layer style and paste it. Whoops, what happened? Right-click, copy the layer style. I accidentally hit clear the layer style. And now I'm going to paste it on every other egg layer. So now if I'm going to have to make all those frames again, because now I've added a lighting that gives me a shadow underneath the egg, I can also do other things. I can also change the environment in little ways. because now I know that the story is going to work, and I know the timing. So now I'm going to take a little bit longer setting up my shots. Let me explain. So this is the first one. Yep, that all works. So let me clear these. And then it's going to break my heart, but I'm going to clear all these layers on my stage, except for layer 1. Because I'm going to replace them with better ones. Save it. But I already have all the assets built. So I'm going to actually close the timeline too, so I can see this clearer. Hit Command 0. Hit Command 0. So now these match, right? And I have to set up my first frame. So this is now my first frame with the shadow underneath. This will be my next frame with the shadow underneath. This will be my next frame with the shadow underneath. It's going to work well. But I can do more, because right now I have this. So what I also want to do is play with some of these environmental factors. What am I going to do with this, with the sky? I want to duplicate it, and I want to use a direct adjustment. I'm going to use hue saturation, and I'm going to intensify the sky by 24%. So that's a copy. You know what? I'll even make my life easier. I'm going to intensify it, saturation really, really high, right? Make it darker or brighter. What do I want? Maybe brighter and more colorful, but not that much colorful. And then change the hue a little bit. Let's almost Easter eggy. Okay. Now I'm going to go to color balance. I'm just going to shift it into the warms so it feels like the sun is coming up. There's a Tom Waits song it always reminds me of, but I won't sing it. I'll resist the urge. But I guarantee you, if I was animating this on my own, I would entertain myself by singing that song. All right. So, big difference there, right? Huge difference. So, that's in my assets. I don't want it to shift from this to this in one frame. What I do is I want to take the opacity on the color change and just make it like 9%. So, can we see the difference between this and this in the sky? Just a little bit. The other thing I want to change is the atmosphere layer. I'm just going to go ahead and stretch it. Command T. I'm just going to stretch the atmosphere. Hold down Shift. Just going to stretch it a little bit. That's all. So you see how those clouds will start to look like they're moving? Okay, let's get that frame. Topmost layer, Option, Layer Merge Visible. Command A, Command C, Command V. So now I've just built a more complicated animation. See what it's doing? And I can already see there's a little bit of a problem, because my texture fill works great on the sky, but I don't like that little spot that's moving. So this is why we do it in 2 files, because as soon as I spot that, I can correct it. So in my texture fill, I want to delete that spot from both of those layers that are making up my texture fill. And it's very nitpicky, but this is going to pay off big time. So I'm not quite sure what's happening, so I'm going to use clone stamp to fill it in. So it's equalized. So now when I stretch it, it won't feel so weird. Okay, let's capture that again. Option, layer, merge visible.